Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome to your number one source for Native American television news. It's Native News Today. Jason Salzman along with Kyla McGowan, and we are here at the beautiful Southern Hills Marriott in Tulsa for the Intertribal Council, and it's our turn to host. Muskogee Creek Nation rolling out the red carpet for everybody. Got a lot of people here this week, so it's very exciting.
There definitely are a lot of people here, and food and snacks. And
good times. Well, the good thing about it is there's so many different things going on throughout these next couple days. They're going to be having presentations. There's even a play totally in the Muskogee language. I think that's a big treat for a lot of people out there. They're going to be having presentations from our reintegration program, presentations from the different tribal environmental services. So a little bit of everything. And what's so neat about it is that people come, all throughout the state, different, unique things that they have going on at their tribes they want to talk about with other tribes, and this is a great forum for that. And it's been great since it's been revitalized a couple years ago, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But we've got a great show lined up for today. The people out there are actually going to see me get to take a flu shot.
yeah, that's exciting.
Is it exciting, or is it like bad for me? I don't know. Why is that
Did it
exciting,
hurt?
Kyle? It did hurt a little bit, but the good thing about it is that I got that flu shot from the Muskogee Creek Nation mobile unit, the health department. They've got a big bus now that can come around to wherever, and so it's a great thing for citizens, and that's why we wanted to showcase it there. We've also got big event, Domestic Violence Awareness Month was at Muskogee Creek Nation. Big event by our Family Violence Prevention Program. You were actually over covering it for the paper.
Yeah, It was great. It was a great turnout. There were so many people there. The men panel was great.
I think that's what's great that they did it that way this year is it is a little bit more of a new twist, and I think it was very helpful for men to get up and say, we're not going to tolerate this at our tribe, and I think that was very meaningful to hear those guys say that. So we've got that, a lot more, and just so many people here at the Intertribal Council, including right here our very own Mr. Edwin Marshall, Public Relations of the Muskogee Creek Nation. All right. Hey, Edwin, Callie. Now I'll tell you what, you have been around Muskogee Creek Nation for a while, and you've seen.
You call me old?
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said was you remember when this was the Intertribal Council was really going a few years back. Now it's been revitalized. I'm sure it's very pleasing for you to see it come back.
Oh, absolutely, because the Intertribal Council of Five Civilized Tribes, the group is a great advocate for all of the five tribes and for our region of the United States. We're a large group. We 3 of the 5 largest tribes in the United States are within the Intertribal Council, and economically, I think we are a big powerhouse force. And so we've got a lot of common issues that deal with Indian country, and so we get together. And back in the day, when they first started this, that was the format for this. And then back several years ago, they got to where they didn't meet in the same fashion anymore. They didn't have committees. They just met with the tribal leaders, and it seemed like it kind of lost its effect, if you will. Right, yeah. And so after Chief Tiger came back into office, I think he discussed it with the new Chief Baker at Cherokee Nation and some of the other chiefs, Governor Anatubby and Chief Powell and Chief Harjo, and they felt like it was more beneficial if they would do it in the same fashion they used to do it. So they came back together, reorganized it, and we are indeed becoming we are indeed the force that we once were.
You got it. And we're hosting this week, so it's great to be able to be the host tribe and roll out the red carpet. So thanks, Edwin, for visiting with us.
It's good to see you all.
Have a good time.
Hey,
this
I got
week.
a meeting to get to. I got to go.
Get out of here. All right, everyone. Edwin Marshall, Public Relations of the Muskogee Creek Nation. We got a great show lined up for you. We're going to take our first break. We'll be right back with Native News Today.
Hello. As Principal Chief of the Great Muskogee Creek Nation, I wanted to just take this time to respond to the partial shutdown of government in Washington, D.C. and how it affects the Muskogee Creek Nation. All indications are that the partial federal government shutdown is temporary. The Muskogee Creek Nation budget planning process has allowed us to be able to operate for a certain time without an immediate negative impact. The majority of our annual comprehensive budget comes from tribal funds. If the shutdown were to be long-term, our biggest concern would be for 100% federally funded programs such as elderly nutrition and other things. Although there is no immediate foreseen negative impact, we will operate cautiously in a responsible manner and continue to monitor the situation in Washington on a day-by-day basis. Our immediate priority will be for client services and payroll for our employees. Since it is a partial shutdown, many essential federal programs will continue to be funded and in operation in a business-as-usual fashion, such as Head Start and Health. Several of our federally funded programs are pre-funded, and drawdowns have been made in advance, such as housing and our federal roads program. The Comptroller has advised all tribal administrators to be aware, but there is no need to panic. Our nation, having just gone through the budget process ourselves, is in hopes that the congressional and executive leaders will set aside partisan politics and will resolve any difficulties that hinder the progress of this nation. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the federal government employees and their families who were furloughed or otherwise negatively impacted and face uncertainty, even if for a short period.
Jehojef ket Paul Fixakodos. Ich kanagat tekobache mikusapkajokon man amikusapkajokodos. I'm able to preach in English and Muskogee, our language too, so there's not many that does that today. When I was growing up, that's all we had, Muskogee language, and that's all they preach. I could talk my language when I was small. When I grew up, I could understand what they were saying. We don't want to lose that, language, especially our songs, our native songs and the Muskogee hymns. We want to keep them.
Pumakasam gadat, ibufanga, nage, adigat, punhayadit omega, azayididet omis.
Diosnok, that's true. Throughout the generations, our elders have taught us to preserve, share, and more importantly, protect the abundant natural resources we have here in Oklahoma. We are the original environmentalists and protector of these resources. The Muskogee Creek Nation believes tribal and state governments must work together to ensure future generations will have clean air and clean water as the ultimate legacy. What is good for Oklahoma tribal nations is good for all Oklahomans. Remember, tribes are truly the original Oklahomans.
And welcome back to Native News Today here at the Southern Hills Marriott still. Jason Salzman with Kyla McGowan, and we are Native News Today. We've got a great show lined up, and we're going to get it started right now. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and with that being said, the Family Violence Prevention Program at Creek Nation does a big event every year. We were both there for this one, and it was quite a thing.
It really was. There were so many people there, and I think it's great that this year they decided to take it a different direction and get an all-man panel and just get them up there and talking about it, and maybe they can relate more to other men out there.
Yeah, because the statistics really aren't good. They're unflattering, and we need to change that. We need our men to step up, and this year's event was actually Warriors Honor Women. And with that being said, as we said, there's a lot of men on the panel talking with other men about what can we do to change this and get this back to where it needs to be totally eradicated from our culture. So, the Domestic Violence Awareness Month event at Muskogee Creek Nation. Lots of tribal citizens, employees, and community members on hand this week for the Muskogee Creek Nation Family Violence Prevention Program's annual event on domestic violence. The big day is the program's premiere presentation of their efforts in collaboration with Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
October being a Domestic Violence Awareness Month, for us, that is a huge month. That is an opportunity that we take to educate the community about domestic violence, about our services, and this program, which has become so large. It began with about 15 to 20 people to over 200. Again, we attribute that not only to our program with the education and outreach that we do, but also with the community, the men who have taken a stand to say that they're not going to take domestic violence, they're not going to stand for it, and they're going to take a stand against it and educate the community and those that they meet. So this year, with being our largest group yet, we couldn't be happier as a program. We couldn't be happier with the community, our nation, for the stand that they have taken and the support that they have provided to our program. So we are extremely elated for what has already happened and just thankful for today.
This year's event, Warriors Honor Women, was geared towards men and their continued efforts to share the message to others that violence towards women will not be tolerated. The panel that spoke consisted of men explaining what a warrior is, a panel the Family Violence Prevention Program believed would make a significant impact.
That was kind of the goal because there's 9 of us in our staff. Right now there's 8, but there were 9 of us, and we're all women. And not that I don't think people listen to us, but unfortunately domestic violence, 90% or more of the perpetrators are men perpetrating on women. So for a man to stand up and say, domestic violence is not okay, to hit your wife, to talk to your wife like that is not okay, absolutely, we believe it has a greater impact because unfortunately the people we're trying to meet is men or trying to reach is men. And like you said, we as women, it's not that, well, truthfully, if they don't respect their wife, probably not going to respect us. So it does mean more. I think it comes with more of a powerful stance, and we appreciate the men who have taken that stand.
All right, our thanks to the Family Violence Prevention Program. They're put on a great event every year, and we're glad to be a part of it. Moving right along, it's hard for me to hold up this microphone because it's with my right hand, and my right arm has literally been in a lot of pain the last few days, and it's because I finally sucked it up and went and got a flu shot. I was going to have you take it, but you just wouldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. I can't do the pain.
The good thing about it is we found a fun little way to go and showcase how cool it is that the mobile unit is now in operation for the Muskogee Creek Nation Division of Health. It can go around to different places. When some people can't get to the clinic, some people can't get to healthcare facilities, it comes to them. And it came around to the Muskogee Creek Nation complex this week. Employees were able to get their flu shot. You're going to have to get it at some time. You don't want to get the flu, do you?
I don't get the shots. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I actually went over to see what it was all about. Very easy, the line moving through. We had a little bit of fun with it. I made sure and got my shot so I don't get the flu. Right outside the McCombs building at the Creek Nation Capitol Complex, and you see behind me the mobile healthcare unit for the Muskogee Creek Nation Division of Health. Long line out here getting some flu shots. We had to come over and check this out. And I'm going to talk with a brave soul here real quick. Mr. Steve Wani, Adult Protective Services here at Muskogee Creek Nation. Steve, you are about to get stuck with a flu shot. What's going through your head right now?
Oh, man, I tell you what, I'm really nervous. I haven't been this nervous since my last high school football game. Well, I tell you what, it's just, I just can't describe the feelings right now.
And I hope things go okay. I mean, calm the nerves down. It's going to keep you from getting the flu. That's a good thing.
I think so. I hope so. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Okay. The tickets to the gun show are free, and you folks are going to get a treat at home. You don't see guns like this just anywhere. All right. Steve, you have any last words here?
Just pray for my wife and kids.
We're praying for you. We're praying for you. Here we go. Okay, it's play-by-play here. The shirt is going up. He is now applying the alcohol. Always make sure we got a clean surface. Oh my, this guy looks like he enjoys it. Oh, I'm here with G. Barn Gouge, the System Development Coordinator at the Muskogee Creek Nation Division of Health. And G, you know, this is we're having a little fun out here today, but also it's neat because the mobile healthcare unit is now in action. This is exactly what we got it for, is to have services at the drop of a hat.
Yes, and that's something that's very much needed here at the Muskogee Creek Nation and all of our territorial boundary. You know, we're able to go out to them instead of them having to come to the clinic. So So that's one of the greatest things that we could do here with the mobile health unit. So
What's great is too, it pulls right up here to the complex, so the employees, they're working today. They can just jump out real quick, get a flu shot, make sure that this flu season coming up, they're going to be in the clear. And I think it's neat that they can just come right on outside and get it done. They don't have to leave work.
right, and that's other places that will be going out. Some of the casinos, the community centers, and other places that are here within the tribe, and that allows all of our employees, all of our citizens to come and get a flu shot that's much needed here, because the epidemic is growing and it's just getting worse there every year. So
I think so too. There's so many different strains and things like that, so it's important that you get it done. If you're not here today, it's important that you get it done somewhere. And there's, like G said, there's ample opportunities at our different clinics. The Division of Health is just in such an expansive mode right now, growing by leaps and bounds every single day. We got new hospitals coming up. We're buying current hospitals and we're refurbishing those. You guys got to be excited, and also having a presence on local television there too. You guys got to be excited about all these new ventures.
right, it's something that we need to get out to the public. It's something that it's much needed. It's been much needed all for a long time. And so we're just glad to be a part of getting the word out about who we are, here as the Muskogee Creek Nation Department of Health, and we're here to help our community.
Everybody thinks it gives you the flu. It didn't give you the flu, did it?
No. From my understanding, that it's dormant,
Okay.
and so it's not actually live virus.
It's dormant, so it's like you on the weekends.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with Annette James. She is the chief nurse here at the Muskogee Creek Nation Division of Health, and she's out here overseeing the operations today. Annette, thanks for being with us today. And also, we wanted to talk with you about the flu shot in general. I think a lot of people out there, some are just scared of needles, but some also have a few misconceptions about a flu shot. They think it gives you the flu, you're going to get sick right after. Just kind of, I guess, for the people out there that don't really know, kind of tell them what goes into it.
With the flu shot, it's an inactivated vaccine, so there's no way you can get the flu from it. You may get a mild reaction where the shot goes in your arm, and occasionally people say that they have a little bit of soreness in that arm. That's the most reaction that you can expect from a flu shot. It does protect you. Even if you were to get the flu later on in the year from the flu shot, it's going to be much less worse than it would have been had you not gotten the vaccine.
I think, too, that you guys are doing a fantastic job. It looks like it's moving pretty quickly. People are coming up. It's a simple process. Really, what's it like for you all to now have this great mobile unit at your disposal to where at the drop of a hat we can provide services?
Oh, the bus is fantastic. It gives us an opportunity to get all around the nation and visit areas and have all the supplies we need, and also a place for people to go if we need for them to go inside. So it provides us with a tremendous opportunity that we did not have before.
Yeah, and I think it's fantastic. You got a pretty big staff here, it looks like, working on it. And everything's, like I said, rolling smooth. We've got people coming through the line quickly. And I think that it's important that if you're not here today, that you do get a flu shot somewhere.
Absolutely. And we will be all around the nation. We have a pretty big schedule for October. We'll be in just about every community. So look for that schedule and get out and get your flu shot. We'll be at each of the casinos also giving the employees their flu vaccines. So if you see the bus, come and see us, and we'll give you a shot.
Absolutely. Well, Chief Nurse Annette James here at the Muskogee Creek Nation Division of Health. You guys doing a fantastic job. Thanks for being with us for a few minutes.
Thank you very much.
You got it. All right. Muskogee Creek Nation Division of Health Mobile Care Unit out at the McCombs building on the Capitol Complex, giving flu shots to employees. Of course, want to make sure you get one too if you're not out here today. There's ample opportunity to do that at the different clinics and healthcare centers. Our next story comes from the Muskogee Dome at the Claude Cox Omniplex, as they held a big recruitment for jobs being given out at the River Spirit expansion into the Margaritaville. And really, the Tarot took the lead on this, the Tarot program at Creek Nation, and they're doing a great job.
I think it's great that all the vendors were able to come out and they had the redstone construction. I think it's just a great opportunity for them to come out there and really employ other Creek citizens.
What's cool is they could come, give their resumes, talk right there with the contractors, and a little bit about themselves. I don't really think we've seen that at the Creek Nation in a long time.
No, I think it's great, and it really is a great program that's been growing.
It is. They add new businesses, you know, almost daily to the vendor list, and it really puts the power in the hands of these Creek-owned small business owners. They can get these contracts. It really helps their business grow. And for these individual creeks, it has an opportunity for them for this expansion is going to be 2 years to be employed. So it's a very great thing, and we were happy to be there.
This is the first time ever. Well, Taro is new to Creek Nation, and one of the ways that we get the word out to Indian-owned companies that are Taro certified and not Taro certified, Creek-owned and other native-owned companies, is to have a gathering as such as you can see here. We have the two general contractors, Redstone, teamed up with Manhattan Construction, and for the portion of getting the word out to all our vendors and so forth, this is one of the first of many events that we were going to have, and that's just for informational type events. So all of the companies that are in the construction related fields will have an idea as to when their particular phase of that they're interested in, they can do what they perform, when that will start and so forth, when this will be, because this is a big, it's a $250 million project. It's at the Margaritaville. It calls for 21 months, but it's going to be a full 2 years for the entire project, as you can see with the various construction companies and related companies that are here.
We're really excited. We had a great turnout for the first run. I mean, it was the first time Rob announced that this is the first time that this has happened at Muskogee Creek, and to see the audience that we have is great. We do this on just about every project. We've done it for other tribes. We're really excited to do it here because it's never been done before. And it's really a twofold project, is to get the participation from the community, to bring them out to a facility. And at the same time, we will log all that information, put it into an electronic format, and that becomes property of the Muskogee Creek Nation. So it helps training and development, it helps Taro. It's just a great thing to get people involved. You get more community buy-in when you've got more people from the community actually participating. So, well, the Margaritaville project's, the largest project in Oklahoma, and one of the largest projects in Oklahoma's history, and we're certainly, man, it's just great to be a part of the Muskogee Creek Nation and Margaritaville and River Spirit. With being a native-owned construction company and encouraging native participation, it's a great thing for Indian people as a whole, particularly Muskogee Creek Nation, people in Okmulgee, people in Jinx, tribal citizens in Jinx and Glenpool. Just great. There's a lot of positive atmosphere right now for Indian people to be involved in this project.
Oh, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for not only our Creek vendors, our Creek people, therefore our tribe. It strengthens our economic development. So when you kind of see activities like this for the first time being created, it's only going to lead to bigger and better opportunities and better situations, because as you know, not just the Margaritaville project, but a number of other projects, the FEMA hospital, and other clinics that we about to break ground on. It's starting to open up a whole avenue of opportunity to put our people to work. As you know, we recently received a $3.7 million grant. That's going to be supplemented with some additional funds, and then they'll be breaking ground on a new facility, down in Henrietta. So once again, another construction project, but at the same time, things like this help to, again, provide opportunity for our citizens who have been incarcerated and now transitioning back into Creek society, an opportunity to go to work.
All right, moving right along here, that'll wrap up this week's show. We got a lot of fun here at the Intertribal Council's stop at the Creek Nation, Southern Hills Marriott. A lot of people out and about having a great time. So many different things going on, so many useful, meaningful presentations, I think, and it's really great that it's back.
Definitely. We have some great people here with us today. Really just a variety of people.
You got it. And the 5 tribes definitely well represented here. The Creek Nation, Chickasaw Nation, including our good friends down at the Choctaw Nation. With that being said, we're bringing in Assistant Chief now, Mr. Gary Batten, with us, and it's great to have you on.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, you guys, you have hosted this before too, but what I think that's really important is that for many years, such a strong organization, the Intertribal Council. Now, in the last couple of years, to see it revitalized, you, along with Chief Pyle, all the great people at the Choctaw Nation, have to be so thrilled at what we're able to get done at these things.
Well, definitely, it is great to see all the tribes come back together and remain the 5 civilized tribes and be strong and have such an impact on all of the legislative things that's going on, not only in the state of Oklahoma, but on the federal side as well. But it is great to have that unity and effort back in the 5 civilized tribes.
You got it. And I think what you say there is very important, that we work together on a government-to-government basis with the state of Oklahoma. I think what's important, too, is that just a few weeks ago on the show, you all were, we featured you with the Code Talkers Highway. That was a great example of you all working with state legislators, state departments, and getting something done, a common goal to honor those Code Talkers. That's really what we're talking about, right? When we say that's what we want to do, we're showing you that we're doing it.
Well, definitely. It's about the brotherhood of all the tribes and the sisterhoods of everybody coming together. And there was other tribes that's been recognized as Code Talkers as well. But it's all of us pulling together, making sure we work together with one another to pass important legislation that affects our people and also Oklahomans as well.
I think, too, each tribe is in the midst right now of doing so many great things. We're building, we're expanding economically, we're expanding our cultural traditions, our services to the people as well. What's some of the good things that we can look for in the Choctaw Nation? Don't give away too much now,
Sure.
but what are some of the things that you guys are focusing on right now?
Well, one of the things that we're really focusing on is our culture and heritage. Tribes are doing better than they've ever done in the history, but at the same time, we don't want to lose our values. We don't want to forget what got us here. And I'm going to tell a quick story about when we came across the Trail of Tears.
Go ahead, do it.
That we actually gave money to the Irish potato famine, and we want to keep that type of history and culture alive. And that's what we're doing with how we're growing. One of the big things we're doing right now is about a $270 million expansion to our casino in Durant that will employ about 700 people. And that's not going to be just Choctaws. That's going to be Choctaws, non-Indians. It's about growing that community. That's what we're all about.
I think it's great, too, because we just saw a study released about a year ago about collectively what the tribes are putting back into the Oklahoma economy. It's kept Oklahoma in the midst of a national economic downturn very vibrant. People are coming here to work, and I think that there's no way that you can discount the tribes as part in that collectively. We're big-time employers, we're big-time service providers, and I think that's just going to continue to grow as the time goes by. I know you probably agree with that for sure.
Well, definitely. I mean, I don't want to get too in-depth about it, but when you look at the federal government and us having the federal government shut down right now, you don't see that happening with our tribes, the 5 civilized tribes. Right now, they look about sustainability and want to make sure that they look for the future, and so they put dollars back so that when these bad times come, we're able to sustain and make sure we have services for our tribal members and keep that community growth alive.
You got it, and that's a good thing about the tribes too, is I think it's been said before, but unlike maybe a big corporation, we're not going to move to Houston, we're not going to move to California. This is where our vested opportunities and interests are in this state with our people. We're always going to be here. We're always going to keep that strong connection.
Definitely. Since 1832, we were here. We're going to stay here for forever.
You got it. All right. Thank you, Assistant Chief.
Thank you very much.
Have a great time.
All right. Thank you very much.
You got it. All right, Assistant Chief Gary Batten with the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. So great to visit with them and be able to tell the great things about they're doing and all of our tribes collectively. This is a great forum for that, the Intertribal Council. We're so glad it's back, and we're so glad that you've joined us today here on Native News Today. Kyla, we're having a good time, though, here at the Marriott.
Definitely.
Right? Well, the thing about it is, if you can't catch us here on CW 1219, there's a multitude of ways to catch us. You can catch us online. Check out our YouTube channel. If you're out of our viewing area, you can always catch us on there. So with that being said, Kyla McGowan, Jason Salzman, Native News Today. Catch us on Facebook and Twitter. Always remember we're on those social media sites. You guys have a great week.